So Ohara Davies keeping busy here, 24 years old from Hackney, 12 fights and 12 wins. The current English champion after winning that title against Andy Keats on the undercard of Charles Martin against Anthony Joshua in April. One stopping him in the 4th round. Part of the setup down at the Matchroom gym. And it was very important for him to get that English title under his belt, really, because he was growing extremely frustrated at the lack of people who were willing to fight him. He's in with Chaquib Fadli tonight, 20 fights, 13 wins, 7 defeats. In November 2014, took on Lenny Dawes for the European Union title, lost by TKO in the 10th round. Has been in with the likes of Anthony Yigit recently, who's now training at the St Pancras gym with CJ Hussain. And Davies has started brightly here.
Yeah, it looks good. He come out, you know, he's landing the jab well, found his distance, found his range, jabbing the body well, and you know he's very heavy-handed. I don't see too many guys are going to be queuing up to fight Ohara Davies. He's a bit of a who needs him. You know, very heavy-handed, awkward angles, good combinations, and he's well in control here already.
He's just got these really long kind of telescopic arms, Ohara Davies. I went to see him spar about 18 months ago. He was on a Matchroom bill, a Prospects bill on the Thursday night. On the Saturday night, Kevin Mitchell was defending against, well, challenging rather, Jorge Linares for the WBC belt, and we all know what a thrilling fight that turned out to be. And Davies was sparring Mitchell, and he more than held his own. He cracked Mitchell on the chin at one point, and Kevin Mitchell just stopped, laughed, and then continued. But he wasn't laughing at the punch, not a bit of it, just laughing at the fact that somebody who'd had so few professional fights could hit like that and had that kind of ability. And he did say to me afterwards, Mitchell, that he felt Davies would go on to be a world champion. And as you say, he's not somebody who people are really queuing up to have a crack at, that's for sure.
I rate him highly, Ohara Davies. I think he's very good. He's elusive. He's got fast hand and he punches really hard with both hands, and he's full of confidence.
Nice combination there, just puts Fadli down. The referee continues the count. He's quite unsteady on his feet there, but insists there, Fadli, that he's okay to continue. Still 40 seconds to go in this round, and he's got the eye of the tiger, Davies, as well. He's one of these kinds of fighters who, when he sees an opening, he generally exploits it.
Yeah, shaky here, and the legs aren't solid at all here for the Frenchman. He looks pretty shaky. Ohara Davies looking to close the show here now. Could get the stoppage even before the end of this round.
And Davies with the overhand right there, and again Fadli is on rubber legs here. He's just trying to backpedal and stay away if he possibly can. Comes forward with a left hand and then leaving himself wide open with the right as well. But into the last 10 seconds of the round, it looks like he'll just about make it through, but you wouldn't bet much money on this lasting all that long into the second round, and that was good clinical stuff again from Ohara Davies in that opening 3 minutes. Tony Sims running that Matchroom gym, the likes of John Ryder down there, who suffered defeat last week, of course. Ricky Burns has got a world title defence next week. Conor Benn, so there's plenty of sparring, plenty of rivalry down there. It's a strange kind of a knockdown, that, really. The way he went down was quite odd. His legs just seemed to collapse underneath him completely. Yeah,
it was strange. When he got up, he didn't look like he'd recovered. You know, he looked very shaky on the legs, and didn't look like he was, I wouldn't say saved by the bell, but he certainly needed to hear it. And I think Ohara Davies will be quick out the blocks here. I think he'll look to put pressure on the French opponent straight away.
That left hook from Ohara Davies landed high on the top of Fadli's head, and it almost sent an electric shock down to his feet, and you see his feet leave the ground. He's not enjoying this. He's not going to last long here in round 2, because Davies is full of confidence. He knows he can punch hard. He's really, really awkward, elusive. I like what he does, Davies. Great jab, sharp. He's got all different angles. He's fast on his feet. And with his confidence against this level of opposition, he can pretty much just do what he wants. And when you can punch hard and do what you want, that's dangerous for Fadli. I mean, Ohara Davies here enjoying himself and looking slick, looking fast. And you just think at any second one of these heavy punches is going to land and just bring this fight to a conclusion.
Well, Fadli's corner were none too quick getting out of the ring at the start of that second round. He's had one fight since he picked up the English title, Davies. That was the open workout, Anthony Joshua's defence against Dominic Brazil. He and Craig Richards had outings on that occasion. He was in with undefeated fighter, actually, Zoltan Jarbo, and it was halted after 4 rounds, 1 second into the 5th, due to a cut on Jarbo. The doctor stopped it, and he'll be looking ahead to bigger things, Davies, that's for sure. Scott Cardle defends his British lightweight title in Glasgow on Friday, but he will be beating down Eddie Hearn's door, I'm sure, Ohara, Davies, to try and get a match with Cardle. They're both with Matchroom, of course.
Well, the first round was all Ohara Davies. Fadli's come out quite, quick in the second round, really sort of trying to fight his way into the fight, but Ohara Davies now back on him and looking to take charge again.
Fadli making it as awkward as he can here. Davies just trying to take him out of one big shot. He needs to just sit behind the jab a little bit and take his time. Ohara Davies, just get the jab working. Fadli having a bit of a showboat himself. I mean, he's very brave being in front of a puncher like Davies to showboat with his chin in the air. But it might just be what Davies needs for him to think about what he's doing, rather than just be too relaxed and confident in his punching power. Give him something to think about. But he's in control here. He's on top and he's looking good. But he's just loading up a little bit too much. My likings here. He needs to just get behind that jab a little bit and get his feet in range. He's got them feet quite wide apart, standing quite wide because he's trying to generate so much power. He can just bring the feet together, keep his weight, centre of gravity, and just get behind that jab. He can get Fadli out of there.
Well, Fadli just looking to cover up now, was clipped with the right hand there as well, and the gloves are wide open. He did bring some cheers and laughter from the crowd earlier on when he just looked to try and almost wind up with a bolo punch. He's just looking to do everything he possibly can here, Fadli. He switched southpaw for a bit as well to try and get through this round, and I'm not sure it's going to work because he was caught with a big scything right hand there again from Davies, high on the head, I think, and Fadli's certainly game. He's scrambling for that top rope, trying to continue, but the referee has decided that there's no point in this going on, and the referee, I make absolutely right there. He stopped this one, and Fadli doesn't like it, but for his long-term health, I think that was the right thing to do. You can't fault his attitude, really, but he was well out of his depth there.
Really unsteady on his feet as well there. I mean, he's arguing with the referee, pushing him, but he shook his head as he climbed to his feet, and then he's still on unshaky legs, wobbling all over the place. Great stoppage by the referee, but obviously he says he wants to stay in there, but Davies landed a big heavy shot there and really hurting him, and the fight was over.
Well, there's that reach. You just see that jab just come out, and he throws that kind of, that right hand there exactly. It's a chopping kind of right hand. It's a really effective punch he has.
Yeah, he kind of jumped in with the lead screw shot, was just fell short with it there, as you can see, and then but he was cocked with the right hand, which he chopped over the top, and listen, he was out. He wasn't knocked out unconscious, he wasn't out cold, but his legs were gone. He got up and he didn't know where he was, so I thought it was a good stoppage by the referee.
He's stopping the fight. No.
Well, Fadli's still having words with his corner man there. I think that conversation could go on for quite some time, but it's another good piece of business taken care of by Ohara Davies, who goes to 13 fights and 13 wins now.
Ohara, was that just a case of staying focused against a fairly unorthodox Chaquib Chabli?
Exactly, and I felt like at times like he kind of tried to get in my head with some of the antics that I saw him do in the ring. But in boxing, it's all about being a smart fighter, and that's what I done. I stayed smart, I stayed calm, and I got him out in the second round.
He wasn't very happy, but it was an explosive finish.
It was 100%. He felt like the fight got stopped a bit too early, but I put him down in the first round, and I could have stopped him in the first round, but I just wanted to get in a few rounds, and I'm quite disappointed that the fight ended in the second round. But what can I say? The guy was out on his feet. The guy was actually off the floor, I think, and yeah, so the fight should have been stopped 100%.
At the super lightweight again tonight, is that where you see your future now?
100%. I see myself at this weight. I feel really good at this weight. I feel really strong at this weight, and I'm ready to face anyone in the country. Eddie Hearn knows. I've told him I'll face anyone, and I'm just about who's up for a fight against me.
Well, this is your platform now, so who do you want? I know you've had the disappointment of the Willie Limon cancellation.
Yeah. The Limon fight didn't happen. I'll get anyone. There isn't anyone that I want, but I just want anyone that can get me the most money and a good title. That's all it's about. It don't matter who I'm in there with, because I believe that I'm going to win. So there isn't anyone in particular. I'll just fight anyone as long as the money's right and I've got a new title. I'm happy.
Well, fairly good time to ask Eddie Hearn what his plans are for you. Eddie, what can we see from Ohara in the not so distant future?
Well, we've got two opponents we're looking at particularly. It was Tyrone Nurse for the British title, but I think the one that gives him a nice route to the world is Scarpa. Andrea Scarpa, who beat John Wayne Hibbert on the Joshua card. That's a WBC silver title. You know, put him probably top 5 in the world. I think Ohara is the kind of fighter that you can move really quickly. You know, tonight was just about getting him out, waiting for that Scarpa fight or the Nurse fight. That guy, I remember watching him against Lenny Dawes. I think he went 10 rounds, and he was exactly the same. But Ohara was nice and disciplined in there tonight and mature. But the good thing about Ohara is you don't have to ask the names twice. You know, Tony says, who have you got? And you say him, and he says, okay. You know, so it's nice to have a fighter that's willing to go in with anyone. And I think he's a very special talent, very raw talent, but really becoming refined now as the finished article. And that was nice composure then against a strange opponent. But you've got to meet these guys, especially against someone like Andrea Scarpa, who's very awkward and gangly as well. So I think most likely in London, early December, WBC silver title against Scarpa.
Well done to the whole team.